Here at Native Music Enthusiasts, we love the Native American wood flute, and we love creating compositions that 1. Help you build skills, 2. Increase your musical toolkit, and 3. Help you improve as a player. If you're interested in learning new techniques and new tricks that perform better, as well as seeing new compositions, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get all of our videos in your home feed as soon as possible. Thanks for checking us out. Hi, I'm Enoch Chapman, and this is my Etude number 13 for the Native American wood flute, focusing on the lower hand, entitled Time Presses Forward. If you want to stick around at the end of the performance, I'll talk about some teaching instructions that might make this piece a little bit better, but for now, please enjoy this work. Thanks for watching our performance preview. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up to show us your support. Plus, subscribe to our channel and that will get our videos into your home feed as soon as they come online. Now, on to the performance notes. Okay, for the performer, all of a sudden, hey, we're introducing a new note here, and that note is the C-sharp note. Now, in music world, a C-sharp and a D-flat are the exact same note. I don't use D-flat inside of this piece. I only use C-sharp, but it's good to know that you may see a D-flat occasionally, one here or there, and it's the exact same note as the C-sharp. It's also important to note that this isn't in the actual, it's not in the traditional minor pentatonic scale that you have been playing. So for the most part, on the lower hand, you've been playing these notes. But now we're introducing this kind of C-sharp mechanism, and it changes depending upon the flute you're in. So it's not always C-sharp, but we're adding this newer note. And this newer note is this. It's the 1 and the 3rd finger sitting above sitting on their holes and taking off the second finger. We haven't done this beforehand. We haven't introduced this note before. It's always been just the, this all covered, taking off your third finger, taking off second finger, taking off first finger. But now we're doing third finger, second finger, first and third, and then going to the full off. And this is where things can get a little bit tricky, because for a performer, this new note all of a sudden is like, whoa, hey, where'd this come from? But it's really important that it's just another tool inside your toolkit. Now we're introducing this inside of 16th note runs, which means you've got to, in order to play this correctly, you've got to understand where that kind of accidental, that new note exists. So don't play it at 60, slow it down a little bit so you can get used to it. That idea of that kind of new accidental, that new chromatic tone, you want to get used to it. So it's introduced inside of a quick passage, it's introduced inside of a really fast passage, but it's also introduced so that you can get to the point where you can understand that that new note is also kind of, it doesn't have to have much emphasis. It can glide by. It can move in very fast paces. And it's used as like a color tone. It's used as a note for you to be able to go, oh, okay, I don't have to land on it. I can just use it in passing or use it to emphasize another note. And that's really the nice thing about this new note, this new kind of accidental note, this C-sharp note inside here, is to be able to say, oh, I can use it as a color tone. I can use it as accidental that moves me forward to some other idea. So yeah, just another thing inside your tool set that we're trying to include, but introducing it as a new tone within a very fast passage. Hopefully it will allow you to see it for what it is, as something that can be used as a cool accent, as a cool color inside of your expression thoughts as you're playing. Okay, so for teachers, this is really important because we're introducing a new note. And this new note can wreak havoc with a lot of performers because it doesn't sound like it should inside of the pentatonic scale. We're now introducing a C sharp or D flat, whichever you want to play around with. But that C sharp and D flat, that is not in the minor pentatonic scale. It's actually part of a very chromatic idea, but this new note can lead and change a lot of things about the expression for performers. However, this new note is introduced inside of a whole slew of 16th note runs. 16th notes are great ways for people to build up their skill set of being able to play notes and play rhythms. And so the next couple of pieces are all about 16th note runs because it's trying to get your fingers to that ability to be able to say, oh, I know where those notes are, I know where that muscle memory is. But introducing this new note can play and wreak a little bit of havoc because of the nature of where it comes from. Now, this new note, this C sharp / D flat note, is nothing more than your first and your third finger being on the holes. So if you were to take your flute, right, and you now covering up your holes, you have these three that you're normally, normally you're playing this, but now we're introducing this C sharp, which is just your first and your third finger being on the holes. And that's important because that's a lot different sequence than what we're used to. It's a lot different idea than what we've been playing beforehand. So this new note, this new C sharp is, it can be kind of intimidating, especially since we haven't been using that at all beforehand. All we've been using is the core 4 notes, just the regular pull off fingers going up the scale. Now we're introducing this crazy new C sharp, and that's important. It's also important to note that the C sharp actually is a very close note to the C. It's just, ones 1 and 3, ones 1 and 2. So having those kind of notes play together, that's pretty cool. It actually gives you the ability to say, okay, I can add a different color by just swapping one little finger. Something that we don't really think about when we play, but maybe now we can. This is also introduced inside, again, 16th note runs, so not only do you see the C sharp, but you also see the C natural, and that can be very confusing, which is why the Nakai tablature may come a lot more into play here, so for you to be able to easily understand what that note is and where that note occurs and how it happens. So yeah, this is a little bit trickier song, I'm not gonna lie. It becomes a lot more intensive when the students read it because they see that C sharp. It comes out of nowhere. and so it may may frighten them and may get them a little bit more anxious as they play. But the more you tell them where it is, how it actually leads into something, how it can be very easily performed by just adjusting your fingerings a little differently. All of a sudden now they have maybe a little easier time to be able to understand where this comes from. Also, the 16th notes are quick and fast, but we're playing a much slower time frame, which makes it not nearly as complicated as it can be. It just still is complicated, and it's important for them to understand that this is something that they're going to want to get used to. Thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that thumbs up, because that's going to tell us what type of content that you really like. Also, if you want to see tips and tricks about how to play the Native American wood flute better, or watch more videos about new compositions that will help you increase your musical toolkit and help you improve as a performer, then subscribe to our channel, because that's going to get our videos into your home feed as soon as we release them. Finally, we couldn't do this without our Patreon community. It's with the support of our patrons that we're able to compose new works and create new content like this that gets out to people who are interested in learning about how to better play the Native American wood flute. We love the Native American wood flute, and we love being able to create new compositions to help people improve and get better. And it's because of people in our Patreon community that we're able to do that. If you want to learn more about our stuff on Patreon, visit patreon.com/native music enthusiasts to see what we're doing and see what we're trying to give back to people who want to help support us. Thank you again so much for watching this video, and we hope you learned something.